So if you hear a bag, that's because Ben has not sponsored covers, but a little disclaimer I do want
I
to
got
get out
good
of the
food.
way. Instead of doing rock, paper, scissors, or nose ghosts, the rest of the hosts, myself included, have agreed on the idea of doing a round robin on whose turn it is to do the intro and outro. But I did it last episode, but I'll do it next time if it's just me and Ben, so the floor is his for the intro.
Let us begin. Episode 15. Welcome, my friends, to All Things Nerdy, the podcast for nerds from nerds. We have a lot of topics to go through, so let's just kick things off.
You,
If you guys missed the last episode, we actually had a collab with AMV God, correct?
yes, and also I'm gonna
Just
call
making
you
sure.
out on a little something. You forgot to introduce the hosts of this episode.
Right. My name is B Major, or you could call me Ben, and my friend over here is Crazy Foxoni, aka Jason.
What's up?
We are your hosts for this evening. Let's get right into it.
Yep.
For real now.
Alright, so first, you know how I said that I would get into the ground rules when it comes
Yes, you
to.
did.
Yeah, so I'm gonna pull out my phone real quick because the About did get a small update on the YouTube channel. That way, everybody gets to know how the podcast would work instead of just being curious about it. And episode 14 introduces the idea of interview styled episodes. Yes, there will be some nerdy conversations that we'll have here and there, but if we end up having a collaboration with somebody, it's an interview styled episode, and if it's just us hosts, there would be a variety of 20 to 30 topics worth of a variety of topics to talk about. Those being under video games, movies, TV shows, anime, comics, manga, books, Halloween, and the good, the bad, and the ugly of internet drama, which a good chunk of these
Mm-hmm.
topics for this episode will give a good example. And I did give details, I want to say once or twice, about what happened with the female hosts. One left early on. Rose left by choice because she felt like that she was a background character in the podcast, which that's not true. And we
Mm-mm.
didn't want to
Not at
pressure
all.
Jaxaya into staying in the podcast if she didn't want to. And as for Master Rail 34, she left both the podcast and the buddies due to a situation that she was in, and that situation in question is that she was falsely accused of being a pedophile because after she found out that one of her exes lied about their age, they said that they were 2 years older than her, and after that she saw that they lied to her, she made the right decision by breaking up with them. But there were some
Mm-hmm.
creepy individuals that ended up having a crush on her. And she deleted her Discord account and her VRChat account. The VRChat part, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I did it with my old VRChat account back then. And with my new one, I just have it so that I can participate in community
Apricot
events
napkins.
and play horror maps. This man is AFK again. How dare. Why do I have to be alone at this minute, let alone? This is why it's hard when it's just us two, man. Like, editor throwing a SpongeBob time card on how long he's. Oh, okay, never mind.
I'm back. I'm sorry. I didn't have a napkin in my bag. I had to quickly go and grab one.
Yeah, I was just about to say editor put in a SpongeBob time card, but you were so fast that I couldn't react in time.
Nope. I was quick about it.
Yeah. Well, how dare. Alright, so what's the first thing of updates for the buddies that you want to get out of the way?
Well, we got a new member.
Yeah, that is true. Our friend Yuri, aka Human HP, joined the Buddies a few days ago,
Whoop
and
whoop.
he is the new youngest member of the group. So
Mm-hmm.
this means that we have a 24-year age gap now. Which honestly, that's insane given the fact that we have like a 24-year age gap between all of the members of the group.
We've got a very large range of people from all different kind of ages. So 24 is pretty big.
Yeah. And most of the members are in their 20s.
Mm-hmm.
And we have Midnight and Sinnoh are both in their 30s, and Lewis is 41. So there's that.
He's the oldest one in the group.
And I will say this much when it comes to updates. You know how we introduced socials in episode 11?
Mm-hmm.
If you guys want to if you guys want to support the podcast alongside with following socials, we launched
Go
a
do it.
Discord server for the podcast. That way you can support both the buddies and the podcast. And of course, being in both servers is not required, but it is appreciated.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, like, if given the fact that Order of the Amethyst Oak has had a few scheduling conflicts in the past, if Mondays doesn't work out at later times, we can switch it back to Sundays. But here's the thing about that. I did bring up this concern with both my mom and stepdad, and they were like, hey, if there ends up being scheduling conflicts for both our campaign and your campaign, we understand why that you're going on a hiatus from our campaign. Do what's best for you.
Mm.
Yeah, they were supportive.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
they were
good.
understanding on to why that I was like juggling between those two decisions.
Which is fair. That's very nice of them to be so supportive of that.
Yeah. And also, from when I was on a road to affiliate, my mom was one of my new followers, and then
Oh,
an
nice.
online friend, MacD33, him following me on Twitch, and then me joining the. Well, I don't exactly remember the full context on how he and I met, but he gave me a follow from when I was on my road to affiliate, and then a few days later, I want to say March 12th was the last day that I had to worry about getting Twitch affiliate. And then November 13th was from when I got it. And then I used to do Skyrim Sunday, which I do want to bring that idea back someday, just not 100% sure how yet. This man is gobbling that shit up.
I'm sorry, I'm hungry. I haven't eaten in hours.
If it helps, I haven't eaten today either.
Go eat as soon as we're done here. um,
Alright, so
I
as soon
have,
as we're done.
and I have my own update. I have officially come off of my hiatus. Woo!
Yep, B is back from his hiatus. And one of the
Mm-hmm.
big reasons was that he and I were both mentally affected hard from the Cinder controversy. But the positive note that we can bring is that it is a good example of us content creators, both big and small,
Mm-hmm.
need to stick together, and greed will only lead to
Absolutely.
your downfall because we do not need a Logan Paul 2.0 when it comes to greed.
Nope. Absolutely not. Get them out of there. Get them out of here.
And what's funny about Logan Paul is that he's banned from 3 different countries. Egypt, he's never gone to Egypt and he got banned from it.
They're like, we don't like you. Stay out. Bye bye.
Yeah, pretty much. Nevertheless, when it comes to future drops, the Pride Month drop is coming back, but with the new watermark design, and then the horror game season, winter game season merch, they're both coming back with a new design. And I'm not gonna lie, I am
Mm.
excited for the horror game season merch drop to come back with its new design because it is fucking peak when it comes to Halloween themed merch. And we have the Shovel Gang versus Ladder Gang meme, which is coming out in celebration of the third anniversary at the Buddies. Which, speaking of, do you want to give the origin story of the two memes?
Mhm. So, this all started with two different games. The Shovel Gang was started with Crazy in Left 4 Dead 2, if memory serves, correct?
Yes. And there's
I knew that.
one individual that we don't talk about because of a incident. We talked about it once, we're not talking about it again.
And the second one, the Ladder Gang, that's an easy one. That's Among Us. We
Yep.
keep doing it. It's funny.
Yeah, and
Go up
it's
and down
been
the ladder on the airship map.
and it's a funny strategy that we do whenever we play hide and seek mode because it comes to bite the seeker in the ass.
Or the hiders. Depends. It's kind of a coin toss. Sometimes the seeker will bait them out and they'll fall for it. That's happened a few times.
Yeah, that's true. And I was like, do I want to go for a ladder or a shovel? And I was like, you know what? With all I can't decide, let's go for both.
Oof.
And there is, and I can confirm this much, there is going to be a Mirrorgate themed drop for New Year's 2026.
Ooh, that's exciting.
Yep. And from that I was thinking about it, I was like, I kind of want to give details about Ryder's lore as a character because as somebody who achieved his redemption arc, I feel like, you know what? With how he was a loved character from when he was introduced in his villain arc, I was like, you know what? With how everybody loved him, let's give him a redemption arc, which is where I do want to give some lore details. Which, speaking of, you're welcome to give the first portion if you want to. And have you read Legend of the Night Stars?
I haven't gotten around to it now.
Ah. So, when it comes to Ryder's lore as a character, there's two names that he has because Ryder was the name he was given in birth, and then the other he was given from when he was adopted, which we will get into that later on.
Mm-hmm.
So, I helped you do the writing on the first part of his lore. So, god damn, you must be a hungry pig. This man's smiling. I got him to laugh. Alright, so do you want to explain the first part of his lore, or should I? You saying I should go?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the lore behind Ryder as a character in the Mirrorgate universe is that he is half Midgardian, half Diaronin, and his father's from the Dark Realm, which explains the Midgardian part, but he uses his abilities to protect his family instead of using it as a threat against Dyaroth. And after some individuals found, and some individuals didn't question him because they're like, as long as you don't use your powers to threaten anybody, we're good. And somebody who is disguised as Echo ends up intruding the family, and the father stays behind to protect his Diaronin wife. And he sacrifices himself for the protection of Ryder. and Ryder was well hidden in an alleyway. But something they didn't think about was that the mother was being tracked down by some members of the Assassins of Mankind, and she was brutally slaughtered for because the individual who was disguised as Echo was consp- conspiring to commit assault and murder. And those are the crimes that the assassins who were caught got arrested for. And Torn was like, hey, you guys went against our oath. Why would you do this? And Ryder was in a or I don't know what those places are called that holds orphans,
An
but
orphanage?
yeah, Ryder was at an orphanage for 5 years, but given the fact that he was bullied by some kids and that the adults who worked at the orphanage did not help him or give him support, he ran away, but he didn't have anything to defend himself with from when he was wandering around in forests. And I haven't fully decided like what type of beast that he would run into, but two Zodian wolves, out of coincidence, sees him while they are hunting, and one of them is like, "Hey, I will stay behind. You take that child to our camp, and I will sacrifice myself for you if I have to." And that's what happens. And as and after Ryder's taken to the camp, they felt bad for him from when he learned that from they learned that he was forced into orphanhood 5 years ago during that time. And he didn't remember his name because there was no records on what his name was, which is why that he was given the name Joji from when he was adopted. And Joji was known to be a gunslinger in Fantasy's Virtual Darkness 1 and Fantasy's Virtual Darkness Aftermath. And in Fantasy's Virtual Darkness Aftermath, Karkanos is freed from Odin's curse because Joji sacrifices himself for Dyaroth to free Karkanos from Odin's curse, but something that Karkanos didn't take into consideration was that he accidentally passed on the curse. And it was too much for Joji to where the sacrifice had emotional impact. Like, you can tell that in Fantasy's Virtual Darkness Wanted Prisoner, Ninja slash Cancer was haunted by what happened.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah, it was bad, but holy shit, did it make a good ending.
Mm-hmm.
And after Ryder was resurrected by the Dark Realm, they lied to him about who the killer of the parents was. They said it was Echo. But we'll get into the plot twist later. But the part that they did tell the truth about was that one of the guardians of Zodia is responsible for the murder of their parents, but they misdirected him, which was how he was manipulated into being a Dark Realm warrior. Same case with the lie of Odin's curse being a gift. And as Ryder took some time to himself, like, you know how in emotional scenes characters would punch a mirror?
Mm-hmm.
He does that, but he accidentally destroys it in the process, and there are glass shards in his fingers, and if there is an adaptation of it, we could see it happen, and then we could, like, hear self-narrative of him saying, I remember what it's like being resurrected by the wrong hands, to give that
Mm.
scene a emotional impact. And in the events of Fantasy's Virtual Darkness After Dawn, you said that he is the Sephiroth of the Mirror Gate universe.
Mm-hmm.
And as somebody who is willing to lead the Dark Realm, he was responsible for the end of, or what was allegedly the end of Dyaroth as a dimension, because most of the Guardians of the Dimension sacrificed themselves so that the civilians that they wanted to protect can evacuate to three other dimensions like Midgard, Lopi, and Palgran. And the final fight in After Dawn takes place in Egypt, which Tengu the Twilight takes place 6 years after the events of Fantasy's Virtual Darkness After Dawn, but we can do a time skip for that
Hmm.
one. And in Paranormal Slayer 2, 4 years ago in the prologue of the story, the Guardians of the Mirror Gate were willing to give him a second chance. Tengu was not 100% sure how he felt at first because it was Yoru's idea. After Yoru became a Guardian of the Mirror Gate, after he saw that Ryder was consumed with guilt mentally, he's like, I know that you've done some horrible things, but how about this? I will talk to the rest of the Guardians about what's in my mind. I will not say what it is, so I'll let it be a surprise for you. And then, after Ryder was freed from the void, he was like, wait a minute, what's going on? And then, Shark, as the leader of the void, tells him that the Guardians are willing to give him a second chance in life. A proper second chance,
Hmm.
which is how Ryder joined the Paranormal Slayer Corps, and Endo Wakataru, as the protagonist of the story, is helping him out in the best of his ability because he's not just a Paranormal Slayer during the events of Paranormal Slayer 2, he's also a husband and a father. Which,
Dun 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 dun.
what was that?
Dun 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 dun.
Yeah, so given the
Dramatic
fact that
effects.
Paranormal Slayer 2 is not fully finished, I'm going to do another time skip and go to Legend of the Night Stars. He almost dies against the Dark Realm because it was a duo, yes, but it wasn't big enough to fight against them. He was able to exploit the fact that the Dark Realm was weakening after Fenrir was killed in Paranormal Slayer 3. And Zodia was the continent that he was struggling with, and Yoru and Li Po ends up getting him to Lopi safely, but they were unfortunately not able to save Akira Ring, which is Ryder's girlfriend at the time. But I'll spare the... Yeah, so you know how there's some cases to where there are some warriors that would, like, build more warriors with a breeding system?
Hmm.
That's pretty much what happened. Akira Ring breeded against her will, which that's as far as I'm gonna go because I don't want to trigger anybody. Ryder finishes what's left of relearning his combat skills, and as he goes back to Iaroth to see what could be the potential threat, here's where the plot twist comes in. From when I said that I wanted you guys to think that it was Echo, Gemini and Tengu were both shocked by this. The real killer of Ryder's parents and the person who manipulated him into being a Dark Realm warrior is Scorpio. I can't.
Bum, bum, bum,
Yeah, I.
bum.
Yeah, I couldn't tell how B reacted. Nevertheless, after Ryder had a crazy idea of what if the Paranormal Slayer Corps and the Night Stars was to collaboratively work together to fight against the Dark Realm. And I haven't thought of the clan name. I haven't thought of the guild name for the Palgrinish Elven clan, except or guild, depending on your perspective, yet. But there is a fairy guild. But there is a guild. I don't remember on the top of my head, but there's a guild known as the Moonflyers that joins them, and it is overwhelming to where the Dark Realm warriors were being killed, and the woman who was kidnapped and was used as a breeding stock ends up being evacuated safely, but they end up seeking therapy after the experiences that they've been through, and Ryder is battling to the death against Scorpio. And Scorpio dies a gruesome death because
Well, I would hope.
Ryder was fueled by vengeance after he learned the full truth. And Shark ends up stepping out of the void, taking the body of Scorpio because his soul is still in there, and he says, "Hey, congratulations on congratulations on achieving your redemption." And after Scorpio's body is taken to the void, he's not imprisoned. He is erased from existence for the safety of the Mirror Gate.
Got him out of existence. Sounds perfect to me.
Yep. And what Ryder does is that he lifts up his scythe in triumph, and he does make a promise to the Mirror Gate that he will protect any dimension that ends up being under the same situation as Midgard, Lopi, and Palgrand was after the curse of Ragnarok was weakened, and Dark Furno stayed behind in Lopi to purify who is left of the Dark Realm Warriors and purify the babies that the Dark Realm Warriors made. And a week later, Ryder wakes up from recovery, and his girlfriend Akira Ring is a mother now. And the baby is half Palgranish elf, half Dire Fox, which is why that her womb was in a bit of pain, but it took a healing potion to get rid of that pain. And after Ryder sees that he is a father now, he felt like that he earned it for achieving his redemption. And not only that, he also became a guardian of the Mirror Gate for stopping the Dark Realm from threatening the Mirror Gate. And he was given the choice to either spend time with his new family or celebrate his new role as a guardian of the Mirror Gate. And he chose to spend time with his new family first, but due to his past actions, he no longer feels welcome in Dyaroth. But the one time that he makes an exception is if it is for a World's Brawl tournament. And
Mm-hmm.
the baby in question is a male, and they named him Alos, which we now know the origin story onto how Alos is descended from the Mirror Gate in the Jason J's reality of the Mirror Gate universe.
Mm-hmm.
And Ryder and Akira ends up starting a family in Palgrand, and Midgard, Lopi, and Palgrand is able to recover from the Dark Realm's threats now. So the fact that he went from a orphan to a adopted gunslinger to a Dark Realm warrior to a paranormal slayer to a Night Star to a parent and a guardian of the Mirror Gate, beautiful character development, if you ask me. And he, in
Mm-hmm.
my opinion, has the best character development when it comes to the Diaronin characters. Like, speaking of, I am thinking of having him on a cherry blossom tree as a tattoo, but I'm not 100% sure which design I want to go for yet. And whenever he's involved in any
Mm-hmm.
story in
I think that'd be pretty cool.
what was that? B? I didn't catch what you said. His face zoomed in.
Oh no, cut out for me again. Shit.
Oh no, that's not good.
I hate when this happens. Pisses me off.
I don't know if you're able to hear me or not. Aggressively slurps the milkshake. Holy shit. And for the record, writer's lore was not originally a planned topic, but
It kind of just happened.
yeah, it just happened. And how would you rate his character development on a scale of 1 to 10 based on what I did for him?
Honestly, I think it's a really good character development. 9 out of 10. I feel like there's something that could be better, but I'm not sure what it is. But it's good. I like it.
Hell yeah. And I'm pretty sure that. Yeah, and I do memorize that you said that he's in second place for best villain in the Diaronin Legends saga.
Mm-hmm. Nobody can beat Shark.
Nope. And I'm gonna be
The
honest with you,
OG.
Keith David as the voice of Shark would go hard.
Dude, it would go so hard.
Yeah. And also,
Anyways, we're getting off track again.
there's two things that is confirmed for solo leveling, which technically three, which we're gonna have a gacha game of solo leveling known as Solo Leveling Arise. It's not out yet, and we don't know a whole lot of
Alright.
gameplay details, so we can't fully dive into that. But
Mhm.
Alex Lee, the English voice of Sung Jinu, confirmed that there is going to be a season 3 of solo leveling.
Oh, dude, that's pretty cool.
What the dog doing?
He's barking at something.
Are
I'm
you in
not sure
the
what he's barking at.
Hold up, are you in a basement?
Brother, this is where I do basically everything. You should know this by now. I've been down here for basically every podcast.
And for every D&D campaign session.
And for all of my videos.
And another and there is a live action that's coming out in 2026, which I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not 100% sure how I feel about a solo leveling live action,
That'll be
because
an
most
interesting
of the
watch.
live actions that are based off of anime, they're hit or miss.
Except for One Piece. That's a good one. They did good on that one.
Yep. And
And I'm excited for season 2 of that whenever that comes out.
season 2 for solo leveling is already out.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna
I
be
was
honest with
referred to the
you,
One Piece live action though.
I do still think that solo leveling is the best anime of all time in my eyes. Because
Well, I haven't seen it yet, so
yeah,
I'll take
most
your word
people
for it
would
though.
say that Cowboy Bebop, One Piece, or Attack on Titan would be the best anime of all time for them. And the Attack on Titan part, I'm 2 seasons in, but I get why that they say that. One Piece, I've never seen it, so I can't say anything about it.
You have no right to say anything about them.
Exactly. And Cowboy
Unlike me,
Bebop,
who's about 800 episodes in.
yeah, Cowboy Bebop, I'm 7 episodes in, but can't give a full-on opinion, but I do think that it is worthy of a 10 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
So, Angry Cops, Richard High, also known as Angry Cops, has been having beef with the Buffalo school system, and the school system has been under a lot of controversy because they've intentionally covered up and failed to report cases of child abductions, sexual assaults, pedophilia, and drug dealing.
I'm sorry, the school system?
I am not even joking. Like, the first podcast that brought this to the light was the
You're
Unsubscribed
kidding me.
podcast.
What?
And there is one case where to where a teacher used the restroom as a timeout area, turned off all the lights, which that is fucked up. That is child abuse. And there are cops that were not able to properly do their job because they are intentionally covering things up. And there's also deleted videos of child pornography.
Yeah, this made national news.
Yeah, and
It's on WKB WTV
yeah, don't
for
trust
Buffalo.
national news because they half-ass the details.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at the title and the description that they've given. I'm not watching the actual video,
Yeah,
but jeez.
if anything, the unsubscribed podcast would be the best way to get the details because that was where it first started to blow up on the internet. And if I was a
See
parent who
that?
lived in New York, there ain't no way in hell that my kid would be in a school under the Buffalo school system. And there were empty cans of White Claw in the first episode from when Angry Cops and the Unsubscribed podcast was bringing the controversy to light, but the news ignored Angry Cops and was saying that Unsubscribed just had a shit ton of alcohol and they would burp and be absolutely foul, which is just stupid that they ignore the allegations over cans of White Claw.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Yeah, and the worst part about it is that the kids in the school system has been victims of pedophilia. That's how bad this shit is.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah, that's a really fucked up situation. I'll have to look more into that later.
yeah, like, it is just an absolutely fucked up situation. Like, at some point, like, I know this would be a big if, but if Angry Cops ends up being not too busy, and if he ends up having enough time, we could, like, invite him to the podcast. That way, both big podcasts and small podcasts can bring this topic to the light.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that is really screwed up.
Yeah, it is absolutely screwed up.
Mm-hmm.
And outside of that, you want to know an idea that I do want to do?
What?
For as a video or stream idea, I honestly do want to play a horror game called the Lancaster Leak with a detective, and see how
Lang?
they're able to handle the horror from a horror game.
That'd be interesting to see.
Yeah, that would be a fun idea. And also, Jaws is having its 50th anniversary this year.
Damn, has it already been half a century
Yes.
since Jaws? My God, time is flying by at an alarming rate. I fear if we blink, it'll be 2030.
And Jaws has Universal in both Orlando and Hollywood, they went all out on the Jaws theme from when they were
I would
celebrating
hope
the
so.
50th anniversary. And speaking of Universal, we're going to get into more details about what's been happening with the theme park later on. And I'm not going to lie, as somebody who hasn't seen Jaws as a film franchise, I'm happy to see that they went all out celebrating the 50th anniversary of the film franchise, and I do want to watch it at some point. B just went silent.
Jaws is a great franchise. The first movie, iconic. It's really good. The second movie, it's not quite as good as the first, but it's still really good. The third one, it kind of falls off, but it's still decently good. The fourth one's It's pretty much hit or miss.
Yeah, like with a majority of games and movie franchises, it's usually either the first or the second one that ends up being the best part of that franchise. For example, with Halo, Halo 2 is the best Halo game, hands down. And there are some countless examples that I can think of, but we would be here all day and we would go out of topic real fast if we end up doing that.
Very, very quickly out of topic. So let's stay on topic. Let's talk about this other controversy that's been happening.
Yep, Hassan. We all know he's a political piece of shit. And last time we talked about him in the podcast, it was from when Trash Taste was under controversy for talking about politics in their podcast with Hassan.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the fucked up things that I pointed out is that one of the most fucked up things that Hassan said is that he said that America deserved 9/11, which honestly, this man should not be in America if he's gonna say this shit.
Yeah.
And he also lied about a arrest experience. Did you grab a beer?
No. Not sponsored Mountain Dew.
Oh, okay.
I don't have any beers in the house at the moment.
Yeah, and he's been also, in anybody that calls him out, he's been calling them Nazis, pedophiles. Like, he's just falsely accusing them for shit when he is rightfully getting called out.
Well, that is not good at all.
And what is absolutely fucked up of him is that he supports terrorism.
That's not cool, my guy. What?
Yeah, honestly, this man needs to be banned from the internet and behind bars for the bullshit that he's been saying.
Twitch, please ban this guy.
Exactly. Because I am fucking tired of seeing streamers being political only to say some controversial shit. Because when it comes to politics, both sides would be under controversy for corruption that they would be under, which is why we say fuck politics.
Mm-hmm. We don't want to get into that conversation.
Nope. And
it's not worth the time or the effort.
Yeah, not worth the time or effort, which is why that we keep our thoughts to ourselves. And TikTok has been calling out Trump for being homophobic, transphobic, all of the hate speech. Nevertheless, there's some updates with Spirit Halloween for the 2025 season. The only downside is that the grand opening for the flagship location got canceled for this year, but that doesn't necessarily mean that other stores are also canceled. They will be around. It's just the others in the flagship location had shipping delays and there were scheduling conflicts, which given those two reasons, I understand why that they had to cancel the grand opening of the flagship location. But on the positive note, they did give a teaser on what this year's theme will be.
Oh? Yeah, what was the tease?
So, we're having a... So, I said that my prediction was that we were going to get a sewer system, and we're getting a subway station this year.
Oh! That's pretty cool, actually.
And if you think about
not what I was expecting.
If you think about it, I was correct with the prediction. because subway stations with the subway station railings can technically be a part of a sewer system.
They both are under the ground. Yes, that is correct.
That's why I'm saying I'm technically correct.
By technicality, yes. Yes, you are. You are correct.
And themes that we've had in the past from when they introduced the idea of just doing one theme per year. They did a farm 2018, a sea theme 2019, an island 2020, which I'm gonna be honest, the 2020 themes, exempting for the back, was the worst one so far this decade. Halloween, a factory 2021, a laboratory 2022, which is an underrated theme in my opinion, uh, but they've had some underwhelming animatronics. But 2023, they did a cemetery for classic Halloween to celebrate the 40th anniversary of the retail company. 2024, which is last year, they did a carnival because it was a fan requested theme and they delivered with it.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes, they did. They did very good with that theme.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it was such a fun experience to go through in person. And with the teasers of the theme, what year did you start going to Spirit out of curiosity? Because I started going 2010.
So the first year I've actually been to a Spirit Halloween was probably 2011, 2012. But there was a few years after that where I would go to get like Halloween costumes and that was it. And then like 2017, 2018, I stopped going and then I went back again last year.
Yeah, so if you remember the electrified corpse animatronic, he's having. It's confirmed from the teaser that he's going to have a remake this year. And here's the best part
Ooh.
about it, it's in
Hope to see Giant
stores.
Rat. Right now?
It was confirmed in the Spirit Halloween fandom that it's going to be in stores. This man is geeking out. Is that a cat?
My sister decided the photo bomb for cats.
Hello.
This is Beans. Beans.
Yeah, Beans is such a attention whore.
He's just like, why am I in me? Why am I here?
You want
Yeah,
to say hi,
so
baby? Oh, Beans, you're doing so good.
yeah, so back to what I was saying with the teaser that they've done, like they did tease a rat animatronic, but there was a name leaked before we saw it, which, based on that logic, my prediction is that the rat animatronic that was teased is Sewer Rat.
Ooh, okay.
And there's one animatronic. Valak from The Conjuring was originally going to be for last year, but she's going to be coming out
Mm-hmm.
this year.
Oh, they delayed her. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, like how they delayed Beetlejuice from 2020 to 2021.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And with and based on the teaser, my the three predictions that I'm going to make is that I think that we're going to see the Pale Girl or from Terrifier 2 or Vicky from 3. So this technically makes it 4 predictions, but the other two that I think we're gonna get is Slimer from Ghostbusters and Freddy Krueger from Nightmare on Elm Street, because they referenced Elm Street when it comes to the maps.
Ooh.
Imagine that. We might get a Freddy Krueger animatronic for the first time since 2010. But the question is, which version will it be? I honestly think that it might be the Robert Englund version.
I don't know. I think it will, because this year right here, marks the 40th anniversary of the second movie.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I was like, is there an anniversary or something coming up? There is. The second movie is turning 40 years old.
And when it comes to other predictions that. And when it comes to what the fandom has been teasing,
I
there's.
want to see a hobo clown.
What was that?
I want to see a hobo clown. I think that'd be funny.
Other companies have done that, but I don't know if Spirit Halloween has done that yet. But
Mhm.
with what the fandom has been teasing, there's going to be a Mr. Dark reskin known as Unfolding Scarecrow.
Ooh.
And when it comes to the halfway to Halloween teaser, well, no, when it comes to the halfway to Halloween release that we were going to get, we expected it to be a new character, but nope. We got a remake for Silent and Deadly, and it is the most accurate remake that we've gotten.
Nice.
And they started to do remakes 2017 because it was with Rim Ripper from 2012, and then they brought the idea back in
Mm.
2019 with Cerberus from 2015, and then Uncle Charlie got a remake for the 10th anniversary of the 2010 version, and then we got Wacky Mole Clown 2021,
Mm-hmm.
and Little Nestor as an online only for 2020 for the 2021 late releases. Same case with Bloody Bag of Jokes. 2022, I don't know on the top of my head if we gotten a remake, but I do not like the reimagine of Little Skelly Bones.
Mm.
I honestly think that the old one is 10 times better. Like, I gave it a chance in person, it's just not for me. And as for 2023, we got a remake of The Grave Watcher, which is the best decision that they made display wise because it fits the cemetery theme given the name. 2024, we've gotten Cerberus again for some reason, and we also got Twitching Banshees from 2014 and the Creepy Towering Clown from 2017.
Interesting. Okay.
And who who knows if we may end up getting another remake, like let alone confirmed later on down the line before stores open or as a end of the season release.
Mm-hmm.
And given the given the fact that this year's theme is a subway station, I honestly think that I honestly have a good guess on what the archway is going to be like, but it was also rumored that the display may be like as if you're inside of a subway station car.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. And uh, and if we get a Freddy Krueger animatronic, I wouldn't be surprised if he's displayed on the right side of the archway, and then on the left we have an original character.
Mm-hmm.
And they also have like a modded version, and they also made their own version of Haunted Halloween 86.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and the only downside is that it's only on a retro system.
Okay.
Yeah. And like what I said before recording this episode, I am not looking forward to talking about this.
Yeah. When I saw what happened, you send me the text. I was like, "Oh no, he's devastated, isn't he?" Yeah, you. This is a tough topic to talk about, guys.
Yeah,
This one right
this
here
was
is
a
what's hard.
slap in the face and a stab in the back for me because I've looked up to that guy
Hmm.
for years. Like he helped me in my teenagehood. And it's not going to feel
Yeah.
the same.
It's time to talk about the DA games allegations.
I say you go.
You got it. All
And
right. So, sorry. So basically, the general story is that DA Games has some claims that he is a predator, and it's not good. It's not good at all.
yeah, and there is mismanagement of a Discord server, and he sent Lolly Rule 34 for minors to see, which is screwed up.
Yeah, if you don't know what lollies are, they're basically people who look like children. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, we're not gonna go that far, just so you know, but he's been dating his current girlfriend. She's been dating him since she was 17 and he was 23 from when they started dating.
Now that one wouldn't have been so much of a problem if she started dating him when she was 18.
Exactly. Because there's this meme that I saw on YouTube Shorts where the acceptable age gaps are 1 and 2 year is a 1 and a 2 year age difference. 3 or 4, it it really depends because if you're both adults, then that's exceptional.
Mm-hmm.
But this shit, it's just unacceptable, and it's not gonna feel the same hearing his music knowing that he's a pedophile. And both 8-Bit Ryan and Dawko would be heartbroken after they find out.
Based on when this happened, which was somewhat recently.
Yeah, yeah, it happened a few weeks before the Cinder controversy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I would assume that they already know, probably. If I had to guess, I would hope they know.
Yeah, I honestly hope that they end up knowing as well because
Mm-hmm.
it just feels like I don't know how I can word this, but
It's like you said earlier, it's like a slap to the face,
and it also feels like that you got stabbed in the back.
which you also said earlier. But yeah, no, this was a hard one on us, honestly. So let's move away from this topic and talk about a topic I'm not quite sure. What is this one about?
So, based on a trailer that I've seen, this is either going to be a document of John Wick or it's going to be the fifth John Wick movie.
Oh,
And what somebody said in the trailer is that it's a common route to have it to where the protagonist's love interest ends up being killed and it gives them a reason to become a badass, but they never thought of a dog.
never do. This man loved his dog so much he would kill people because they killed his dog.
Exactly. Like that's why I
Don't mess
wanted to
with his
get into
dog.
the film franchise because it just sounds like a fun idea. Like
It's like the love of my life is dead. Oh, what was her name? Rover. What? It was my dog. Like it would be funny.
and there were also some people requesting John Wick for Mortal Kombat.
That's funny. I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, who knows if that ends
But
up.
you never know. I mean, we got the Terminator, so
Yeah, we got both T800 and T1000, but I feel like that they should be the only two Terminator characters, if I'm gonna be honest with you.
agreed. We don't need any more than that.
Yeah, two is enough. But I am open to the idea of a gruesome DC character being a guest character, like the Joker for Mortal Kombat 11 and Peacemaker for Mortal Kombat 1.
Mm-hmm.
And when it comes to John, and when it comes to the point that I brought up on what they did with John Wick from they changed it a bit, imagine, I don't know if anybody's ever done it with a character's sibling. Because if not, I could technically do that for Cyborg Assassin 2.
Well, Nintendo technically did that idea with the Wind Waker. The basic story is that Link has a sister in that game, and his sister gets kidnapped. So he goes on this grand adventure to save her. So it's kind of a twist on that format.
Yeah, and what I was like more so referring to, like, we don't I don't know if anybody's like done the route to where like the wife to where like for example the dog getting killed, but it's the protagonist sibling, like a brother or sister that gets killed and they seek justice or vengeance because of it. I think I heard background noise.
Sorry, my parents just came home from a little baby's birthday.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that they were like wanting to say hi.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, at least it was just a small interruption because
Mm-hmm.
taking a God knows how long pause is better than having to go AFK.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and also Microsoft ended up doing the same thing as Nintendo with the pricing of their first party games, and they've been under controversy for it. $80 fucking dollars for a first party game? That shit is too pricey. You're better off getting this shit on sale if you're gonna keep it on that price.
And now they're wondering if I fed my dog, which I did. I did that before I came on.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know the guy's name that's a part of Nintendo, but he somehow predicted that Switch 2 may be the downfall of Nintendo.
Yeah, I don't know who predicted that either, but it's looking like that more.
Yeah, it honestly sucks that people in the gaming industry is being greedy. Like, Nintendo, Microsoft, Activision, Battle.net. Like,
It is so bad.
yeah, it is just so
Nintendo
bad.
updated their terms of services, and I don't mean to just like sidetrack, but this is important to me because it pisses me off because I'm a big Nintendo guy. Nintendo could break your console if you mod it, which is bullshit because it's our console. But also in that same terms of service update, they said technically you don't own the console, you own the right to use the console.
Like how Steam would say that you don't own the games, you just own a license for it, which I honestly think that's stupid, but they are being forced to change it to where you own the games.
Thank God for that. Also, the physical games have a game key, not an actual game data inside of it. So what's the point of physical anymore?
Exactly. My honest reaction, bruh. You
Bruh.
guys need to fix your shit.
No, really though, it is so bad right now.
And
Every time I see some news from Nintendo, I crash out a little bit. It's bad.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Donkey Kong's new design, it looks ugly. That is not Donkey Kong. Like, who is that?
You big gorilla. I will say his Mario Kart design, the new change. When I saw the Mario Kart design, I was like, "That ain't not Donkey Kong."
And
And then
they
it's
did the
totally
same
grown me.
design
It's
for
it's
Donkey
still the
Kong
youngest.
Bazonga. Not a good
It's
look
not.
for you.
It's Bonanza. You said Bazonga.
But if we end up getting future Legend of Zelda games, who knows if they'll be good, because Tears of the Kingdom, the remake for A Link's Awakening, and Tears of the Kingdom, they were good. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Breath of the Wild was so good that it got Game of the Year for 2017.
Deserved.
And when it
That
comes
was
to...
good.
And I will say this much, with how that they're having a GameCube in one of the games that you can play as Soul Calibur 2, if I was to give the game a chance, I could revisit my childhood with the GameCube version of Soul Calibur 2, because from when I first played it, it was on the original Xbox, which I had Spawn as the guest character. And
Mm-hmm.
why... And I honestly feel like that Spawn feels more at home in Mortal Kombat 11 than he does in Soul Calibur 2. And the reason on the why Spawn is a guest character in Soul Calibur 2 is because it was a part of an agreement with Todd McFarlane from when he designed Necrid.
Mm.
And Heihachi is the PlayStation exclusive because Cloud Strife was originally in consideration, but due to licensing issues, I should say, that didn't happen. Which is why he's in
Mm-hmm.
my guest character wish list for Soul Calibur 7 if we ever get a Soul Calibur 7.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I miss Necrid. He should return for a future Soul Calibur game.
Mm-hmm. That'd be fun.
And I'm not gonna lie, it would suck to see PlayStation go down the same route as Nintendo and Microsoft. Because it just sucks to see that the gaming industry is just being greedy only to give you shit content.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not good.
And we can add Warner Brothers into the list on what is the most controversial game studio, because most of their games nowadays has been a pay to win. And the Suicide Squad Isekai, Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League, it's ass.
Suicide Squad Isekai.
Yeah, I said that on accident, but I corrected
I
myself.
know.
And Mortal Kombat 1, I do think that the original story mode is good, but the Chaos Reign story, it feels rushed. Because Warner Brothers is like, hey, we need money, rush your games. Don't worry about the bugs, which that's just stupid, which we'll get into more details
Mm-hmm.
about that later on. And I'm just pissed off about thinking about this, so we're just gonna move on to the next topic. Dead,
Agreed. Probably for the best, honestly.
yep, Dead by Daylight is having its 9th anniversary this year, and there are a lot of exciting announcements.
Nice. Yes, there is. For starters, we're getting Five Nights at Freddy's and Dead by Daylight. Freaking
It
finally!
was requested for a long time too,
No kidding, man. This
and
will be a collaboration between the FNAF movie and Dead by Daylight. So
not
we're getting the movie version of
not just the movie
the.
version. They did a balance of both the movie and the games.
Oh, I heard it was just a movie. Oh,
Nope, it's not
that's
just
even
the
more
movie.
exciting.
And speaking of the movie, there's a skin that is based off of the movie itself that Matthew Lillard is going to be the voice of, and it's also confirmed that the voice of Springtrap in the games is going to be the voice of him for if you were to play the skins of Springtraps that are based off of the games.
Ooh, fun.
And you can tell that Matthew Lillard was having fun with the voice acting in a behind the scenes clip that we see.
Oh yeah, no, I saw that clip. He looked like he was having so much fun.
Yeah. And there are people making jokes saying, well, we can say that Shaggy is in Dead by Daylight now, but if you think about it, Matthew Lillard was Stu Matcher from Scream, and he was one of the
Mhm.
killers that was behind the mask in the first movie. So if you think about it with that logic,
He was already technically in.
yeah, exactly, you beat me to it. And there's going to be skins from The Witcher 3, and I'm not gonna lie, giving the Knight character skin to the Knight, whoever thought of that idea, they made a peak decision because the skin, mm, it just looks so good. Like,
Mm-hmm.
screaming without the S. That's how I can describe it. Like, that's how good it is.
Mm-hmm.
And there And with the Five Nights at Freddy's collaboration, we're not gonna have a survivor, but I'm not too
No, but that's fine.
yeah, I'm not too worried about the fact that we're not gonna have a survivor because the map Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, which is a balance of both the games and the movies, makes up for it.
The new map looks amazing from what I've seen.
I agree. I'm excited to play the new map. Like, I want to play it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, matter of fact, Springtrap is one of the new killers that I want to
Wow.
main.
Mm-hmm. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah. And there's 2 Walking Dead survivors that we're going to get.
Oh yeah, I heard.
And there's no surprises that we're not going to get a new killer from the Walking Dead franchise, but let's be honest, if you went with a raider for the killer, that could work.
Mm-hmm.
And when it comes to original characters that they announce, they're pretty much going for like a Asian mythology character when it comes to a new original killer. Like, we have the Spirit and the Oni for original characters, and we have Sadako from The Ring when it comes to licensed killers.
Interesting. Okay.
So, I'm gonna have to dig around my files just to see who I was thinking of, but there's this one chick in Japanese mythology that okay, Koki Kochisaki Onna. I think that she would be a good killer in Dead by Daylight.
What is she exactly?
She's known as the slit mouth woman, and there's two different
Oh,
variations.
yes.
But I'm not gonna get into details about the two variations because let's just say that I would get a bit off topic if we do that, and I would geek out about
Mm-hmm.
mythologies.
Which is fair.
And none of us knew who Marlin is, but what coincidentally enough, the first time I heard about him was from when he was under is from when we found out about the controversy of his for being a pedophile and for lying about being homeless.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this man lied about being homeless and his brother called him out. Imagine being called out by your own sibling for something that you lied about. That would be embarrassing for you.
Oh, absolutely.
And when it comes to like the one thing that he said that gives off red flags is that he would bang anybody that is any age, including the underage. And I wouldn't be surprised if he gets banned from social media for that. Because honestly, this man
Mm-hmm.
needs to be behind bars if he's gonna say shit like that. And of course, I know we did a speed run with this topic because there's not a whole lot that we know of about who he is
Mm-hmm.
or who he was
Yeah.
before he was under controversy.
Mm-hmm.
So, Monopoly Go is having a collaboration with Star Wars.
I heard about that. That's pretty fun.
Yeah, I don't know what Monopoly Go is. It's safe to say that's Monopoly but on your phone.
Yes, Monopoly Go is Monopoly on your phone that you could play with your friends. There was actually I actually saw a commercial for this earlier today. It was a food truck guy and Hayden Christensen, and the food truck guy called Order 66, and it was Hayden's, and I thought that was funny.
Yeah, that's a pretty creative way to reference Order 66.
Uh huh.
And when it comes to the Star Wars franchise, we did do a watch along for the prequel in the original trilogy. But there's a chance that we may cancel the watch along for the sequel trilogy.
What?
Time management.
Yeah.
And also, Discord has been under controversy for having an AI scan your face for age verification for those who lives in Australia and the United Kingdom.
I heard about that.
Like,
That ain't cool, man.
not everybody is comfortable with their face being known. Like, why the fuck would you want to do that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's not good.
And this was a worrisome controversy that Discord found itself under. And this was what I said from when I was giving awareness about it. To those who are artists, I want to bring this to your attention. Discord is now partnered with Dami AI, which is an AI generating bot that can use any image uploaded as well as steal other people's content. The feature can't be disabled, server admins cannot disable it, unfortunately, and there is no permission controls. You're gonna want to make sure that you stay vigilant about your art and watermark your creations. on the positive note, it was not as bad as everybody thought, because they just have it to where you just have to generate the image with the permissions of the artist, of course. If you steal content in any of the communities, guess what? Insta ban.
Yeah, that's not good.
And you want to know a positive note that I can bring from when we talked about James Earl Jones a few episodes ago?
Sure.
Before he passed away, he did give consent for his voice to be used for AI, so this means that his voice can live on through AI after his passing.
And Fortnite has been taking advantage of that because currently there's a Star Wars season and Darth Vader has an AI bot which actually talks. It interacts with the players, and people have made him say slurs.
What the fuck?
It's so bad that the acting community is literally suing Fortnite for this. It's so funny.
Yeah,
Oh,
what pissed me off about that was that From and I said, good luck trying to convince me. Aaron Dunn's mentioned viewer potential. I was pissed that I was almost convinced. Because I quit Battle Royale as a genre last April because my anger issues was affecting me mentally, and I admitted in a post that I made where I would nearly get toxic on stream, but I stopped myself before that happens because there was one time where Tyler 1 got banned for being toxic in League of Legends. And other games that I did quit at the time, like Bunny Hole was like, hey, I'm proud of you for making that decision. Now you should quit Overwatch and League of Legends. And I never played League of Legends, but I did quit Overwatch the year before I did let my community know, saying, hey, I'm quitting Battle Royale as a genre, and everybody was supportive of the decision of me quitting Battle Royale as a genre. So if I want to be competitive on a stream, I could just play ranked Fall Guys or come back to Rocket League. But Rocket League would be the only sports game that I would play, given the fact that most sports games are not my type of thing. And also, how do you feel about Gears of War having a remake?
Well, I've never played the franchise, so I don't have a strong opinion about it, but I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I honestly do Yeah, honestly, I'm happy for the Gears of War's fans that we're getting a remake of Gears of War, and they called it Gears of War Reloaded, which that's a creative decision to make with any remake.
It's a cool name.
And it was also pretty much confirmed by the Game Awards Instagram from what I saw. Which, speaking of, where is the post? There it is. And it's releasing August 26th this year. And it's going to be on PS5, PC, and Xbox.
That'll be fun.
And, of course, not all remakes is going to have everything from the old game, but of course they do make some changes that ends up being under criticism. For example, Ashley Graham, she was annoying in the original Resident Evil 4, but they changed it to where she's more mature in the remake. That's honestly the best decision that they made with Resident Evil 4's remake. Like, I want to play the remake of Resident Evil 4. And you know how you were curious on what happened with Asmongold?
Uh-huh. So on the doc, I had not heard this yet, but apparently Asmongold had a near-death experience. I was just like, what?
Yeah, so what happened was that he smelt a dead rat in his attic, and his house is at a bad condition to where it is rotting. And he fell through the ceiling, and there were some scabs that he had.
Oh, damn.
He almost died from that.
Oh, shit.
And he did take a bath after that, which I honestly feel like that he made the wrong decision with that, because I'm genuinely worried for Asmongold's condition, because what if the wounds where he got scabs at ends up getting infected?
Yeah, no, I get that. I would get why you would be concerned.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like that he should go to a hospital and get the wounds cleaned up. And the Minecraft movie is on digital now.
Mm-hmm. Literally a month after the movie came out.
And why it's going on digital early is because it got banned from theaters because there were clout chasers that would yell chicken jockey and make a mess with popcorn and drinks.
I feel so bad for for the people who worked at the movie theaters because people just made a complete mess of the theaters.
Yeah, like, it is hell for the janitors to clean up. And from a clip that I saw, there was a guy in a creeper mask who brought an actual chicken to the movie theater from when everybody yelled chicken jockey.
I saw that too, and I was just like, why and how?
Mm. And from a TikTok that I saw, there was an employee that was like, if I hear anybody yell chicken jockey, I am calling the authorities.
I heard about that too.
Yeah, honestly, I'm with the employee on calling the authorities
Mm-hmm.
because I honestly feel like that the clout chasers should get arrested for public nuisance.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure that the movie is on HBO,
Probably.
which I wouldn't be surprised given the fact that it's a Warner Brothers movie.
Mm-hmm.
And Warner Brothers has been under a lot of controversy with their game studio. When will the Minecraft movie go on digital? So it went on digital May 13th of this
So
year.
12 days ago-ish.
At the time of recording this episode, yes. And it's on Amazon Prime, Apple TV, Fandango, At Home, and I honestly feel like that it's gonna go on HBO at some point. But I am willing to give it a chance to see if it's gonna be a fun bad film because
That's what I also want to see. I never got the chance to see it in theaters, and I'm really upset about that.
yeah, Moist Critical was lucky to be in the theater at peace.
Nice.
Like, this man was by himself, just all quiet, and he did say that the movie is ass, which was expected because, like what we said, it would just feel like that the movie was going to release too soon if they kept it as live action. I honestly feel like that it should have been animated.
Should have been, but it's not, so it's fine.
And I honestly, and when it comes to other Warner Brothers films that I didn't like, I honestly feel like that the Barbie movie should have been animated instead of live action because I did not like the fact that it was live action and I couldn't bear to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing that my sister pisses me off with is that she calls me a sexist for leaving the theater, which I am not a sexist.
Oh, for the Barbie movie?
Yeah,
Well, that's just not your type of movie.
exactly. Like, just because it's not my type of thing doesn't mean that I'm sexist. And speaking of that, there was like one, like, Loppy Luna was falsely accusing me of being a sexist sociopath, and there were 2 chats that I was temporarily banned from because of that. But I'm not gonna say any names on who I was banned from because I do not want to get accused of name slandering. But I am calling out one person rightfully. Nevertheless, Raccoon, her controversy is worse than Cinder's.
There we go.
What happened?
My Discord lagged. I didn't hear you, and you stopped moving on my end for about 30 seconds again. But we're back, so it's good.
Yeah. Raccoon's controversy is worse than Cinder's. It's bad.
Who's this raccoon?
I don't know, but she's been under a lot of controversy for leaking private information. And their families have also been doxxed, which is just fucked up. Like, where has 2025 gone when it comes to controversy? Because it is a shit show after a shit show. First Cinder was called out for Cinder was called out for being a manipulative backstabber, and she also stalked Silvervale. And Raccoon was called out for doxing personal information and recording messages without permission.
Yeah, that's not cool.
Nope, not even one bit. And also, how do you feel about GTA 6 coming out next year?
Honestly, take all the time they need. Make this game peak.
Exactly. I'm gonna make a prediction here. I think GTA 6 might get Game of the Year for 2026 if it ends up being that good.
I'm just gonna say this for now. If it doesn't get nominated, at least they have failed.
Yeah, like it would be a no-brainer. It would be a no-brainer if they end up winning most anticipated game again. And why
Absolutely.
that GTA 6 has been
I don't.
suffering from why GTA 6 has been suffering from delays is because people would leak shit and Rockstar would change it after they noticed that it's leaked. Which honestly is a smart decision on their end.
Absolutely. I don't know if they'll be able to nominate them again for most anticipated game. I mean, I would hope so, but I'm not sure if they'll be able to.
And I'm not gonna lie, if 2026 me, like if 22-year-old me looks back at this episode and thinks that GTA 6 ends up getting Game of the Year, he would be surprised that past him predicted it.
Mm-hmm.
And if I predict things correctly, the Matrix is real.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example,
Or like,
with Tekken
Or-
8, I predicted that we were going to get a Final Fantasy character, which I was correct, but I predicted the wrong character. I predicted
Mhm.
Tifa, we got Clive. And when it comes to GTA 6, I understand why that they've been delaying it and changing whatever ends up getting leaked. And honestly, Rockstar, I'll let you guys cook. Let them cook, we say. And if they deliver, game of the year.
Mhm.
And we've been waiting for a release date for 5 years since it was announced that we were going to get GTA 6. So we're going to have to go through one more year of before GTA 6 jokes.
Yep, pretty much. Which is fine.
And
The joke is kind of funny, honestly.
Butterfinger is promoting Borderlands 4 because I'm pretty sure it's on pre-order.
I found that funny.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like that it feels a bit too early to promote Borderlands 4 with snacks, but you do you. And from last year's Game Awards,
Borderlands 4 is supposed to come out in September,
yeah,
so I don't think it's too soon at all.
if it was like around August, then that's when I feel like that it would be the appropriate time if you think about it.
Hmm.
Unless if they're doing it for those who pre-ordered the game, then there's that.
Hmm.
But we don't exactly know. And when it comes to anticipated games for 2025, Killing Floor 3 is coming out this July. And I'm
Ooh,
excited for it. Because I
that'd be cool.
enjoyed playing Killing Floor 2. I haven't played 1, but I enjoyed 2, so I'm excited for 3.
Hmm. And I haven't played any of them, but I would probably be pretty excited for this.
And there's a new Five Nights at Freddy's game.
Yes, there is.
Secrets of the Mimic, which is a prequel to the rest of the Five Nights at Freddy's games lore-wise.
Hmm. Yeah, this is gonna be really interesting. So the main story, from what we've seen in the trailer, is we are a mechanic of sorts. And we go into this old warehouse where there's this old animatronic outfit that could change its body shape to match the suits that the animatronic endoskeleton is supposed to go into. And I think that's pretty cool.
And based on the gameplay style that I've been seeing in the trailers, it gives me Security Breach vibes.
Oh, it definitely does. It gives me a 100% security breach vibe.
And speaking of Security Breach, I'm having trouble fighting against Moon when it comes to turning on the generators in the play space.
Mm, yeah, that is a bit of a tricky one.
Like, I don't know if there's a setting to where I can turn down the difficulty.
I don't think so, unfortunately.
God damn it. And in the first game, I'm on night 2. But I died 4 times because I keep running out of power.
I made it all the way to night 4 and I couldn't beat it.
Yeah, what strategy did you do for night 2?
So whenever you hear Foxy hum, just immediately look at the camera. Do not close the door. Look at Pirate Coast immediately. If you hear him running, close the left door.
I might take the... I think I might do that next time I play FNAF on both YouTube and Twitch.
If that happens, let me know. I'll probably hop into Twitch and not Twitch, stream and help you out if I need to.
Like, if anything, like, I could just screen share the game and either the recording slash streaming VC to where everybody can see that we're doing a stream or in the private
Mm-hmm.
VC.
Yeah, that works too.
And also, Joey Bissinger, if you end up watching this, if he ever does, congrats on your engagement.
Woo! Congratulations! If you guys don't know who that is the anime man.
Yep.
I'm so proud of him.
Yeah,
He
same.
deserves it all. He deserves the whole world.
Yeah, honestly, I'm with you on that one. And Aki Dearest got her dream ring from when Joey got engaged with her.
Nice.
Yeah. Like, it's like a heartwarming feeling to see that the anime man and Aki Dearest got engaged, and I'm happy for the both of them. And they also did confirm that they're having their wedding in Japan so that it's easier for their friends and family to be able to participate.
Honestly, fair.
And I'm gonna be 100% honest, like, from when we talked about the trash taste controversy from when it was happening at the time, I feel like that Joey and Garnt played it smart by keeping silent, but and it felt like that Connor was throwing them under the bus.
Oh man, Discord crashed out on my end again. Nah. Discord, why do you torture me so?
This
This is
motherfucker.
so unfortunate. I hate this.
This motherfucker. I am going to jump his Discord.
I guess I'll just sit here and look pretty until I can hear crazy again.
What? What? Huh? Alright, we'll be right back after this technical difficulty on bees, and we don't know how it's gonna look on video or on
There he
audio.
goes. I can hear him now. Yay! I wasn't able to hear you for another minute.
Yeah, so I think you may have to wait until the video is out to hear what I said.
Probably.
And Mortal Kombat 1 Definitive Edition is out, but the Mortal Kombat fans are not happy about it.
Oh, why? What happened?
There was so much potential for Mortal Kombat 1 with its content, and it just feels like a slap in the face to the fans because Warner Brothers is being greedy pieces of shit.
Oh, what happened?
Yet there's not a whole lot of content to go through. Invasions is way too grindy to where it's a pay to win. And yeah, the roster was good, but the main story was good. Chaos Reigns, it just felt rushed.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, I honestly don't get why that we got a gender swap for Cyrex and Sector. But like, I didn't know how to feel about it at first, but from when I saw the story, I was like, I honestly am kind of mixed about it.
Interesting.
And of course, Noob Saibot, he was good, but I feel like that this man needed more screen time because they didn't show us how Bihan became Noob Saibot, and we don't know if there's going to be a new Sub-Zero. Because NetherRealm said fuck you to the Sub-Zero fans. And when it comes to the guest characters, Ghostface was the best one when it comes to the second combat pack.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And Conan the Barbarian, he feels like a Soul Calibur character in a Mortal Kombat game.
That's cool.
How is it cool?
I don't know. You said that it's like a Soul Calibur character in a Mortal Kombat game. I think that's a nice little mashup.
Yeah,
I know he's obviously not actually from Soul Calibur, but
yeah, he's from Conan the Barbar. He's from the He's from the Conan verse, but I honestly do feel like that he would feel more at home in Soul Calibur than in Mortal Kombat. Needed to get some hydration juice because my throat was a bit dry. But
no, you're good.
Th1ngs, nobody knew how to feel about his appearance at first, but the gameplay makes up for it because he looks like he's fun to play. But after Th1ngs came out with the costumes that we did go through, I want to say 3 episodes ago, this is the end of Mortal Kombat 1. And they are working on either the next Mortal Kombat game or they're working on Injustice 3.
I'm wondering what they're gonna call the next Mortal Kombat. Are they gonna call it Mortal Kombat 2?
No, I honestly feel like that it's gonna be Mortal Kombat 12, I want to say.
You never know.
And when it comes to my honest thoughts about the game, I honestly feel like that it had so much potential, but the bugs and the lack of content was what pretty much felt like a slap in the face to the MK fans.
Mm-hmm.
It just sucks to see that Warner Brothers is putting NetherRealm Studios in a worrisome situation.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate.
And with how that they went for a comic book theme for their guest characters, Ghostface and Terminator and Th1ngs are the only two that are out of place when it comes to the theme, because Conan is a comic book character, and we've also gotten Omni-Man, Peacemaker, and Homelander when it comes to comic book
Mm-hmm.
characters. But like what I said, Conan would feel more at home in Soul Calibur than in Mortal Kombat. And you want to know a good point that I'm going
Probably.
to bring up?
What?
We've had all types of warriors in Soul Calibur. We need a Viking character.
Yes. Yes, we do.
Like, it can either be a original character or it could be somebody who is a Viking from where they come from when it comes to third-party characters.
Mm-hmm. That would be cool.
And when it comes to loved Mortal Kombat content creators, Uncaged Games is married.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Speaking of Uncaged Games, if you're watching this episode, if you are, congratulations on your marriage.
We got 2 people to celebrate their marriage. Woo!
Yes, sir. Like, Joey's engagement and Uncaged's marriage. The good notes that we can end on when it comes to internet drama.
Mm-hmm.
And there were some alleged, and there was a alleged massive security breach for Steam.
Uh-oh. What happened?
Yeah, so that's where I'm gonna do my research, because I don't remember the whole lot of details, but the key detail that I remember was that there is over 89 million users that had their data leaked.
Yeah, that's not good.
Alright, so I'm just gonna play this on my phone out loud.
An unverified claim of a massive Steam data breach surfaced on May 13th, with hackers reportedly selling over 89 million user records on a dark web forum for $5,000. While initial reports suggested a direct breach of Steam, further updates indicate the data may have come from a compromised third-party service, possibly Twilio, which is known for handling SMS-based two-factor authentication. The leaked data reportedly includes real-life two-factor authentication codes and message metadata. However, Valve has since stated it does not use Twilio, leaving the exact source of the breach uncertain.
Huh.
And from when everybody was like giving awareness about it, they were like, hey, you should change your passwords just to be safe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That would probably be for the best.
Yeah, I changed my password on my Steam account because I don't want my data to be exposed, because being
Smart.
being hacked by being doxxed by somebody who hacked my channel 3 years ago from when it was terminated for 2 months for getting banned from my community was bad enough.
Yeah, that was horrible. I hated that situation.
And Capcut fucked itself over, and they've made some controversial decisions.
Oh.
Like, it just doesn't hit the same anymore when it comes to using the free version. Like, there is limited free fonts, limited effects, limited transitions, and they have it to where if you want to add your own audio, you have to pay for premium, which is stupid. And what crossed the line for me was that they started to have watermarks on the free version, which is just, no. I'm out.
Mm.
Like,
So how much is the premium version? Did you check?
I'm pretty sure that it's like $10 a month. I want to say 10 or 5 a month. I don't really remember on the top of my head, but
I
it
hope it's
is
not 10.
it is just stupid.
Yeah,
Like,
that's annoying.
and from when I was giving my thoughts about it, I made a video titled "CapCut is Dead," because all the charm on what made CapCut good when it comes to the free edition is gone.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why that other editors on PC who can't afford a better editing software would switch to OpenShot or VSDC.
Mm-hmm.
And
And then there's me who uses Clipchamp, and that's perfectly fine with me.
yeah, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't like how Clipchamp works.
No, that's fair. I get that. It's not for everyone.
And when it comes to alternatives, the two options I have is that either A, I could learn how to use OpenShot, or B, I could relearn how to use VSDC, but I could ask Rose for some for assistance for any type of parts of editing that I may need some help on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you need to, ask Rose.
Yep. And if anybody knows a better alternative for CapCut because of the fact that they fucked up the charm, feel free to let us know down in the comments below. If you're watching the YouTube video, that is, because we're not 100% sure if you're listening to the audio version of this, because, fun fact, we are working on putting our podcast on Spotify.
Ooh, that would be really cool when that happens.
Yeah, and of course, don't expect to hear episodes 1 or 2 for when the time comes if you're watching the YouTube video, because 1, we didn't know what we were doing, and that guy Sant was just playing his guitar, and
Mm-hmm.
Rose and I were like pretty much new to the idea. Episode 2, we were still experimenting on ideas, but there was copyrighted music that we had to mute. And Spotify is a lot more strict with copyright than YouTube is because they act
Mm-hmm.
immediately when there's
They will
copyright.
jump your ass. They will jump your ass.
And Universal Studios, I'm gonna let you do the talking for a bit because my voice is tired.
No, that's perfectly fine. All right, my friends, we got something really cool happening. Universal Studios, Florida, and
You cut out.
California, but son of a gun! Ah! Alright, let me start over. We got some really cool stuff happening at Universal Studios, California or Florida. Not sure. It could be both. I
We got
think.
FanFest in California and a new theme park in Florida.
Right. I don't know anything about the Fan Fest, so I'll let you do that. But I do know about the new park in Florida, so I will talk about that. So, over in Florida, the new Universal Parks Epic Universe in Florida has finally opened. It's got the monsters. It's got the dragons. It's got the Nintendo stuff. It's got Harry Potter. It's got 4 amazing themes, with amazing stuff inside of it. All these really cool foods. Apparently, there's mac and cheese in a cone, and I will fly down there personally and buy one if I have the money.
Yeah,
Because
please
that
take me
sounds
with you if you go to
delicious.
Epic Universe.
I would totally do that. Because the ice cream in a cone, dude, that sounds delicious. I would, num num num.
You will gobble that shit up.
I freaking love mac and cheese. I would gobble that up in a heartbeat.
We're mac and
It's like,
cheese connoisseurs. Like
oh yeah,
we
carbs,
know good and
fuck
bad mac and
those.
cheese.
Yes, carbs, fuck those. Gimme.
Yeah, and if it lacks flavor, then it's ass.
Yeah. Um, but it's really cool. There's a bunch of new rides, a bunch of really fun attractions. Like I said, Nintendo Land. There is the Island of Berk for How to Train Your Dragon. Obviously, Hogwarts and all that stuff has been expanded for Harry Potter. And the new Universal Monsters area, which has all of your classic monster characters like Frankenstein, the Mummy. It's really freaking cool. Apparently, there's a new spooky ride over there. I don't know much about that part of the park, but the others I know quite a bit about.
And I will
But
say this much: it was rumored that we may not get a Universal Monsters house for Halloween Horror Nights, which, if that ends up happening because of Dark Universe, I understand why. But I feel like that the Black Lagoon needs its own house at some point.
overall, peak cinema.
Exactly. And as
I'm
for
excited to go to a Universal now.
FanFest in Hollywood, Los Angeles, California, they did a FanFest. The IPs that they did FanFest for is Back to the Future, Super Mario, Star Trek, Dungeons and Dragons, Jujutsu Kaisen, and One Piece.
The One Piece is real.
Yeah, the One Piece is real. And
The One Piece.
And based on vlogs I've seen, the Dungeons and Dragons attraction looks insane.
I would hope so. That
Like,
sounds amazing.
I am surprised that Universal made such an amazing attraction for a tabletop game.
Go big or go home.
Exactly. And Back to the Future, there was really no surprises that they were going to do that because it's a Universal property, but Star Trek, it was an unexpected surprise. Jujutsu Kaisen and One Piece?
Those are anime. Those aren't Universal properties.
Yeah, they are anime, yes, but I think it's the first time that I'm pretty sure it's the first time that we've seen an American theme park do a collaboration with two anime titles.
At the same time, probably.
Yeah, but I don't know if they've ever done it with just one before, because I want to say back
That's
from
possible.
either 2023 or 2024, there was rumors that we were gonna get a Demon Slayer house.
Oh, well, that would have been cool.
Yeah, that didn't happen, but if we get a anime themed house, I honestly feel like that Jujutsu Kaisen or Death Note would make a good house.
Okay.
And also, what are your predictions on what you think the IPs will be for Halloween Horror Nights? Because my predictions is that I think we're going to get Terrifier, Stranger Things 5, Megan, and The Last of Us 2.
Probably something similar to that. I don't really know what else they could really include off the top of my head.
Yeah, and why Terrifier is one of my predictions is because Damien Leone himself did say that he would love to see Terrifier at Halloween Horror Nights.
Mm-hmm.
And if we end up, and I'm gonna be honest with you, not seeing Five Nights at Freddy's for the 10th anniversary of the franchise was a missed opportunity.
Absolutely.
But if we end up seeing it for the promotion of the second film with Megan, then there's a chance that it
Mm-hmm.
may happen, but only time will tell.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a feeling that it's
Yep.
just going to be Megan because I was like, yeah, I don't think that we're going to see a Five Nights at Freddy's house at Halloween Horror Nights.
Probably not. But you never know. It could happen still.
And Unique Geese did make a teaser for Indigo Park Chapter 2.
I have not seen this trailer yet.
So, based on what we know about Indigo Park Chapter 2, I'm gonna go back to the teaser trailer real quick. But I'm pretty sure that Unique Geese was hard at work with the game.
Probably.
And also, this month makes it the first. Well, this month at the time this episode is out makes it the first anniversary of Indigo Park. And Finlay is
Cool.
going to be the antagonist this time.
Ooh, interesting.
So my prediction is that with the gameplay, I think that we're gonna go underwater, but there's gonna be an oxygen system to add
Oh,
flavor
that would be
onto the
cool.
game. Just go like a Subnautica route, but go all out on the underwater horror aspect. And I'm pretty sure that we're gonna get a good chapter 2, but the question is, will it be a DLC for Indigo Park itself, or will it be its own game? I honestly think that's gonna be a DLC,
Mm-hmm. Probably.
and having it as a DLC would make a lot more sense if you think about it.
Yeah, they'd basically give it the Poppy Playtimes treatment,
Poppy
which would make a lot
Playtime and
more
Dark
sense.
Deception treatment.
Yes, can't forget that one. I keep forgetting that one is a thing.
And speaking of Dark Deception, Glowstick has been busy with Chapter 5, but they're not ready to reveal anything about it yet.
Which is fine.
Yeah, honestly, Glowstick, I'll let you guys cook.
Keep cooking. Keep cooking.
Keep cooking and then give us the ending of Dark Deception.
Mm-hmm.
And Twitch is now having a shared hype train when it comes to shared chats. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I wasn't sure how to feel about shared chats at first because what if somebody what if a
Shared
bot comes
chat?
into someone's chat if they don't have SariBot, or if somebody comes in to troll another person to where they can get in trouble with the terms of service, to where both streamers end up facing consequences for it. Like, that
Oh, okay.
concern is why I wasn't a fan of the shared chat. But the fact that you have shared viewers is nice to see.
Mm-hmm.
And now that we have shared hype trains, like, imagine this. You're collaborating with somebody who's partnered and there's a hype train going on. That's a life hack to get Twitch partner real fast.
Pretty much.
Yeah, like I've been on Twitch for July 31st this year will make it 4 years on Twitch as a streamer, and I'm not gonna lie, I honestly do think that it would be insane if I get it during that time, but I'm most likely gonna wait until I'm at, let's say, 10,000 follows before it happens. Because when you reach 10,000 follows, you would be able to apply for partnerships. Like, for example, Cheeky and GamerSups are the two companies that I do want to apply for a partnership for. And the GamerSups part would be for the buddies for self-explanatory reasons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. And if Moist Critical ends up having the idea to where partners get to make their own soap scents, I can see somebody naming their soap Clean Cum to where it's milk and honey for shits and giggles. That that would be funny if somebody did that.
Oh, that would be so funny.
And last but not least, when it comes to what topics that we do have, when Hogwarts Legacy 2 comes, stay vigilant for who you are around because there is going to be another harassment campaign going on.
Oh, that's fun. Can't wait for that.
Yeah, like, there is such a huge harassment campaign from when 1 came out because there were people saying that Harry Potter fans are transphobic, which that's not true. Not all of them are
Not all.
transphobic. Like, J.K. Rowling has been under
J.K.
controversy
Rowling is
for
a
being
terrible person.
transphobic.
Yeah, J.K. Rowling is a horrible person.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I do like Harry Potter. I just do not like the writer.
Mm-hmm. And that's fine.
Exactly. Like, a good example of you can be a fan of something, of the art, without being a fan of the artist. Like, and another example I can think of is that from when we were talking about the official Seion controversy, Mando Pony makes good music. He is not a good person. And I have a
Mm-hmm.
feeling that DA Games pretty much became Mando Pony 2.0. And with,
Pretty much.
yeah, and Hogwarts Legacy 2, like, I am most likely not going to play the game when it comes out. Like, I'm probably going to wait until after people are done being a piece of shit for harassing people and falsely accusing them for being transphobic just for being a Harry Potter fan.
Yeah, that's probably what I'll end up doing. Speaking of, actually, so when I got my PS5, I got Hogwarts Legacy in the same week because it was on sale on the PlayStation Store. I'm like, you know what? I'll snag it. It was like $20 off or something.
Oh, that's a good deal. So,
It was a very good deal. I haven't played it yet, though. I haven't had the time.
yeah, and if it helps, I haven't played the game at all. And
I also have not seen any gameplay of it, so I would be going into it completely blind.
when it comes to what house you can be if you were to live in the universe, I would be a Slytherin.
Hufflepuff.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna like be at the level of Slytherin to where I would just be an asshole to people. Like I would like
Hope
the
not.
only time I would be an asshole to you is if you were to be one to me.
Mm-hmm.
And like what your narrator said in the unsubscribed podcast, I'm one of those people that would treat you as a friend until you prove otherwise. And I can be socially awkward at first, but I'm a nice guy once you get to know me.
Mm-hmm.
And with that out of the way, like 2 hours worth of an episode.
Jeez. That was a long one. But it was good.
Yeah,
We
like,
talked a lot. We talked about a lot of topics. We had 30 topics to talk about today.
don't you dare sneak a 31st one in. I have a sneaky suspicion he snuck a 31st one in. I'm gonna use my cheat. I'm gonna use the cheat card and look at it on my phone. Nope, no 31st topic because 31 topics
I got
is too
nothing.
much.
I got nothing to add this week.
And I did the outro last time, so you should do the outro for this episode.
Fine. You know what? It's fine. Thank you guys all for watching. Bye-bye. I'm kidding. I'll do a proper outro. Alright. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of the All Things Nerdy podcast. I just want to say it means a lot that you guys stick around and watched it all the way to the end. There are a bunch of topics that we feel very passionate about, and just knowing that you guys stick for it to the end is muy bueno. Very good.
Yep. And also, we do have a Discord server now for those who want to stay up to date and wants to support the podcast.
That link will be down in the description below.
Yep. And
Or if you're watching this not on YouTube, go to YouTube and go into the description of that video.
or just go to the card for the socials and do it there.
Yeah, that too. That too.
And if I end up making another Discord account, an idea that I'm thinking of is that I could like have that account run the Discord server for Mindstorm Creations.
That'd be cool.
Yep. And like what I said in my Discord command back from when I used to have a solo server, both servers is not required, but it is appreciated. Nevertheless, see you all around. Thank you for listening to this episode. And for those who is watching the YouTube video, look forward to our episodes being on Spotify, and we will let you know in episode 16 for when the time comes.
We'll see you guys all later. Bye, guys.